Good evening, folks. Papa Joe here. Me and Grandma Rose in the kitchen doing a little bit of cooking. We're going to do this one a little bit different, this video, because I am cooking like a breakfast. Actually, it's going to be two different breakfasts, one you've seen before, and then we're doing a muffin, and then we've got two dishes that we're cooking for me to take some on the road and some leave here for Grandma. And I'm just going to put them all in one video. And y'all just kind of have to sort through them type deal. It's either that or I got to make a bunch of pieces, parts, then put them up and wait on my son to be able to splice them together. I'd rather just make it, this is a cook. So this is what we're cooking. Now, this is some eggs with Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add some cottage cheese to it. And needless to say, there was the eggs. Now over here, what Grandma is doing, we did 1 pound of sausage and we have sausage left. That's why she broke out that pan. Now this is mini muffins. And as you can see, she put quite a bit of sausage in there. So there's a lot of meat to them. Now we're also going to put a little bit of some other cheese. It's a sharp cheddar mixture type thing that we'll put in here. Then that egg mixture you're seeing, we're going to put in here. Now, instead of making more mini muffins, she's going to take this leftover sausage, put it in this pan, and we're going to make them breakfast sandwiches that you've already seen the video for. And that way in the morning when I'm getting ready to leave, I can zoom me two, have breakfast to go. Mama's got two here for her. So that's it for the moment. Let us get moving along, and I'll record some more in a little bit. Alright folks, a little sneak peek here. Now you can see that you seen a while ago with just the sausage. Now you see where I put cheese in there. Now Mama's filling them up pretty full. Now also she will go behind us and see that little bit of egg droppings and stuff. She's going to make sure that the top of this cupcake tray is pretty well cleaned off. Two things is, one, it's a pain in the butt to clean after it cooks on there, and two, it ruins the top. And I'm one of them that once it, and Mama is too, once it starts looking trashy, throw the damn thing away and buy a new one. So she's a little bit better than I about trying to keep what we have, and I'm the kind that to hell with, throw away, get another one. So that part will get cleaned up. So there we go with that. I'm not going to worry about showing you that little bread pan. That's you've seen that before in another video. So that's just what we're doing with some of the extra stuff. Alright, you'll catch something else in a minute. Alright, now we're recording. Alright folks, I got wafer thin pork chops. I normally get a bigger pork chop than this. They looked bigger in the package. They was very deceiving. And I'm beating them out. Tenderizing them, whatever you want to call it. I call it flattening them out real good. So, and it is a noisy job. I'm going to let you watch for a minute here so that I can go ahead and get one out. And look how small these are. See, now this is more like what I was thinking I was getting. Now you see the size of it, and you see how it's beaten down and out and flattening out. And our eggs are in the oven cooking right now. I was lazy today. I took a nap. So I'm a little bit under the hammer to get my cooking done. I can't blow it off because I done bought the stuff to make it. And I don't want to spend the money out there on the road. So we'll do this here in a few minutes. I'll show you about doing the boudin and whatnot in it. Hit the pause. Going. Alright. Now you seen I beat them down. Now, I've done this a time or two before, but we did not cook them in the oven. We cooked them out on the grill. We smoked them. So this is a little bit different for in here. Alright. Come off there, dadgummit. Now you already know, Papa Joe will never be accused of being a Muslim. Because I like bacon. Bacon strips. Now, I'm very tempted to put another piece on that. But this bacon is just to hold it together while it's cooking. You ain't going to be able to just follow me on all of it, baby. Alright, now, that's what you end up with. Where's my skillet? Bring this camera this way. It won't hurt.
I haven't got it sprayed yet.
Oh, you didn't spray it? Alright, well, that's what we do. She sprays that pan, then we're going to put them in there. And we're going to do several of these. We'll see you in a minute. Alright, folks. There's what I ended up with. Let me get over here. I'll light a little bit. Now, I had a little extra boudin. I sprinkled it on top. I'm taking a gamble there. Because remember, boudin is already cooked. So, hopefully it won't burn, scorch, or ruin the taste of anything. Over here, this is our muffins. Mama, can you pop a muffin out by chance? Alright, there's a breakfast muffin. Now she will put those, thank you. She'll put those about 4 in a baggie. I'll eat approximately 4 for breakfast. And if that ain't enough, I can grab another package. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days worth. So I'll take 4 days worth, leave her 2 days worth type deal. This is just some water and butter we got going for something else. This was that other egg, that sausage and stuff left over. Well, I hope I didn't have my finger covering up that microphone. But there's the eggs and stuff for breakfast. She did make me a cake. That's that double chocolate German chocolate cake with a coconut type deal. Hopefully you heard what I was telling you about this stuff. I hate it where this microphone is on this dadgum thing. I'll repeat myself just in case you didn't. Those are the breakfast muffins. It's hard to reach through here. Right there. She'll put 4 in a baggie. She'll send 4 days worth with me. Keep her 8 for the week. I'll have me 2 of the breakfast sandwiches for in the morning. And that's the breakfast. That's where she's getting something going for another meal. This is the pork chops. They are boudin stuffed, bacon wrapped. The good stuff. Taking a small chance on that boudin there. But I think I'll be alright. Oven's preheated at 350. And we're fixing to throw them in the oven for how long, Mom?
Oh, I don't know.
A half hour, 45 minutes. She's saying 45 minutes. I said a half hour. So we'll go for the 45 and then check them. And I have another dish that I have to throw together here. That'll take a few minutes. Alright, folks. There you go. Be back in a little bit. Alright. There we go, folks. As you can see, I have already butterflied one of them. I think that's what they call this. Me, I call cutting it. Now, I'm holding her down good and steady. And this can be hazardous to your hands. So, and it's real easy to slice too far into it. There is a happy medium that you have to, and I was watching my knife blade back here. I know y'all couldn't see it, but there you go. That was butterflied. Now, me and Mama had a discussion, because I was going to cut it a little bit different. I was going to leave that side, and I was going to cut it from the straight side and leave this hinged. And we discussed the pros and cons, and we decided to leave the longer edge for the hinged end. And not that either one of us are any kind of a major chef that has been doing this for any amount of time. It was just, wow, I can feel that gristle thing there too. The reason I said that like that is we just had a piece that we had to deal with that. So y'all wasn't here then, it was just me and Mama. And I can feel with the palm of my hand part of where that blade is as well. But there you go. I think that's close enough. But there you go. That's what we're doing on that. Let us finish these other 3 pieces here, and we'll show you the next stage. Alright, let's see here. Now, what we did, Mama made me some stuffing here, and I think want it clumped a little bit. Now, if you will watch in my videos and check out some of the comments, that's where I got this idea. A buddy of mine, Kelly, out of Oklahoma, he does some pretty good cooking. I've stopped by his house and ate several times. Well, me and Mama both have over the years. And we knew him before YouTube. He had made a comment on one of my cooking videos about doing this right here with a pork chop. And he had told me to add cream of chicken for a gravy on that dish, and love him dearly. And like I said, he is a damn good cook. We've ate his cooking, but that did not strike my fancy. And what it did is it got me thinking about doing these chicken breasts. So where he was talking about doing a pork chop, I decided I wanted to do a chicken breast stuffed, and this is a chicken flavored dressing that we bought. And my videos are not about cooking from scratch and doing it the old way, and that ain't what this stuff's about at all. This is about simple cooking. You know, let's just do some cooking for at the house, for on the truck, make life easier on me and Grandma. And now, in case you're wondering, we do think about salmonella and all that stuff. Actually, Mama just mentioned it a minute ago on another deal. But yes, I realize I'm getting this chicken on this spoon, and I'm putting it back in the dressing after being on raw chicken. Big no-nos. We all know that. We should have done it a little bit different. I should have spooned out some of this dressing, but I didn't think about it at that time. I am now. And being I didn't do it different, I guess what we had talked about putting this dressing in here anyway. And speaking of, we had talked about that. Let me slide this in. We are going to cook the chicken, and we know we're going to have more dressing than we need, and we were talking about what to do with it. And my suggestion was to put it on top of this chicken breast after it's cooked, where it's only got a few minutes left, and then put the cream of chicken down in the bottom of the pan. And Mama allowed, she wasn't real crazy about that idea. What she suggested is that we line the outside of the pan after the chicken's cooked, when it's only got a few more minutes, line the outside of the pan, excuse me, with what dressing's left. And look how much is left there. Now, did you do a twin box? She's shaking her head yes. I know you can't hear that. She did a twin box of the stovetop, And 2, 4, 6 chicken breast here. And you see how much we're going to have left over, quite a bit. And I do love dressing. And I don't think dressing and whatnot is just for Christmas anymore. So, scan and look in the pan there, Mom. Can you get any kind of picture? Do I need to get out of the way? Can you get out of your own light? Oh, that looks pretty good. I'm backed up and I see it. So you see the outside edges. We are going to stuff some of that leftover stuffing in there after this cooks. And we're going to take that cream of chicken and put a little bit on each one and try to keep it centered, concentrated towards the center. Now I'm going to put just a touch of seasoning on here. Nothing fancy, some salt, some pepper. We have some chicken seasoning up there. Just sprinkle that a little bit. If you notice, I did not do that on the pork chop rolls. And here, let's take an eyeball at them right quick. Show them those, Mama. There you go. Those are almost done. So, alright, we'll be back in a few minutes. Bye. Okay, you got me? Alright, folks. Here, shoot this, Mama. Here's the boudin stuffed bacon wrapped pork chops. Alright, you've seen I had got wafer thin. I beat it out. I put a thin layer of boudin in it, wrapped it with bacon, splashed a little boudin on top. Can you step towards me some? Come on, there you go, a little more. Alright, now let's see how it really hasn't rested much. I think we'll let it rest for a little bit, don't you think? Well, let's try it. It's hot. Ooh, hot. Yeah, let's let it rest for a minute. This will probably disappear before y'all come back. Hit the pause. Go. Alright, folks. It should have set up plenty. Mama did wind up with her old fingernails hitting one of those. Now zoom in on that, Mama. What about push it over there? No, don't stuff your body over. Bring your body towards me. There you go. Now, can y'all see how that's wrapped with the boudin in there? And one of my brother-in-laws, I don't know if I told you, I'd made this for him, for them. And yes, it was me. Mama didn't help me that time. She was visiting. And he liked it so much, he entered it in one of his cooks. He does the barbecue cook-offs. And it didn't win, but they raved about it. And that's what we have. That is wafer thin, tenderized, beat up pork steak, little boudin in there, roll it up into a roll, wrap it in some bacon, and there you go. Now I'll wind up taking a couple meals of this and a couple meals of the chicken. Just a thought for you, when we was shopping yesterday and getting this stuff and planning out what we was going to do, and yes, we both take part in that, I was suggesting us to grab some frozen vegetables to go with this. And the wife informed me that she had seen somewhere that Walmart had a lot of recalls on their frozen vegetables for whatever reasons. We ain't going into it. And this is April 2nd of 2017. So I don't want people in 3 years to see this video and think that that's happening at the time they're watching the video. So this is February of 2017. Or April of 2017. And but you need to try this. You seen it. It's relatively easy, and it's damn good. Let's take a peek at our chicken. We got the chicken going in here. Oh, that steamed it up, didn't it? Let me pull that out. It's not even close to being ready. But there's the chicken going. So. And if you remember, I've told you, go ahead, put it back on the boudin. I had told you before that in Georgia, me and the wife did this every weekend pretty much, and cooking up dishes like this. And what ended up happening, which could happen to you as well, is we started like this weekend now. We're making more than I'm taking and that she will eat in a week. So we dish it up in our to-go, my to-go containers and her at-home containers, and we stick it in the freezer. And after a few weeks of cooking extras, then I can go to the freezer and I can choose and pick, and I can have a different plate every night and not have to do repeats. Well, right now I'm doing 2 of this, 3 of that, whatever. But we are starting to build up for our freezer. And for her, when she wants to eat, she goes open the freezer and she has a choice of several dishes. So that is another plus to doing like we do and cooking the larger meals. With that, I'm going to reset the timer on the chicken. We're going to munch on this stuff. And y'all, you don't get it unless you cook it. Bye. Alright, folks. Look at that chicken, would you? Now, thank you, Kelly, for giving us the idea. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to stack some of this stuff. I'm going to stuff the stuffing in the end of the pan here so that it can cook a little more, warm up, and blend with the other foods. And I really don't want it on my chicken. This is a totally new recipe for us. It ain't like we do this kind of stuff. We do like, what do you think, Mom? Just go ahead and line it in them sides there. Yeah. But we do like trying new stuff. And especially since we have started filming it like this. We just kind of like it. And I can tell you now, this handle was a little bit warm when I touched it with my wrist. With that being the case, I think I'm going to try to slide these down. We had left them in the center for putting that cream of chicken on there. But I think I would rather do this because it was getting it where too much of that cream of chicken was going to run down the back side of this stuff. And we don't like using metal spoons in these pans. That's something we don't normally do. Now these blue ones a little bit different. Alright, let me slide in front of you. I ain't worried about if they see my hairy chest or my fat belly. Now what we're going to do is just put a little bit of this cream of chicken on our chicken. Now, some of that's going to get into the dressing. I understand that. And I'm good with that. We was going to do the original recipe that Kelly had put up with a slight twist to it, which was I was going to use a mushroom gravy with it instead of cream of chicken. I just don't like the sound of pork with cream of chicken gravy. Now if he likes that, that's fine for him. I don't, that's his call. Which is what made me think of doing stuffed chicken breast. Okay, what do you think, Mom? Just on the sides? Which was what made me think of using his idea for doing these chicken breasts. So, and that's all cooking is, folks, is there's no written rules to it, so to speak, other than try not to burn it. But then again, there are those that like burnt. I can tell a story about a barbecue I had where a lady literally asked me to burn her some food. I couldn't do it. I told her, there's the grill, you're welcome to it. Burn your own stuff. But there we go. There ain't much to this. You can see what it is. It's going to warm up. We'll give you a quick shot of it warming up. We're probably only going to do some canned corn, green beans, whatever to go with this stuff. I know normally I show you a fixed plate. You ain't going to see that tonight. There's so many dishes. But this is the gist of it. You can already imagine what it's going to be like. We'll show you a quick shot of that here in a few minutes. Oven's still on 350. I think we'll set it for what, another 10 minutes? And let it go at that. Then we'll see you in about 10 or 12 minutes. Alright folks, here's the chicken. Oh, you could let that going. Here's the extra stuffing down here in this end of the pan. You can see I put that cream of chicken on top and on the side there. So we went ahead and threw together some instant taters. I have some regular taters, but I was so busy doing all this other stuff, I totally... Dadgummit, I had my finger over that friggin' microphone again. I hate where they put it on here. Alright folks, there's the chicken. There's extra dressing. There's a cream of chicken that I put on top of it for gravy. We threw together some instant taters. And Mama's got green beans in the microwave. Be a simple meal tonight. Real easy to make. Hey, y'all remember, God loves you and so do I. You have a safe weekend. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. Get in the kitchen with your spouse or your kids and do a little cooking. It's good for you and saves you money. Do a little cooking and take out on the road with you. That'll save you some money. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye. Alright folks, I'm back. I know, just when you thought the filming was over. I made the plate. I decided I needed to show you the plate. I normally do that, so I'm doing it now. That's the chicken, the cream of chicken soup used for gravy, mashed taters, green beans. There is one of my dishes to go. That is the boudin stuffed bacon wrapped pork chops with some green beans. I'm going to throw some more taters in there. They will not have the gravy on them for this. And I'm going to make me two of the chicken to go. So there we go. Sorry about that. Y'all remember, God loves you and so do I. Have a blessed day. I'm going to go eat.